Welcome back the channel. I'm so glad you're here with me today because we're about to have an important and meaningful conversation, one that touches millions of families across America and around the world. We're going to talk about diabetes, specifically type 2 diabetes and prediabetes, and even if you don't personally have a diagnosis, chances are you know someone who does, or you might even be at risk without realizing it. My goal is not to scare you, but to empower you with knowledge and practical steps you can take starting today. Before we dive in, I want to pause for a moment and say something very important. This content is for informational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice. If you have concerns about your health, please reach out to your doctor or a qualified health professional. Think of this video as a conversation with a friend who cares about your well-being, not a replacement for medical care. So let's start at the beginning. What exactly is type 2 diabetes? Most people have heard the word diabetes so many times that it almost becomes background noise, like something that happens to other people. But when you strip it down to basics, type 2 diabetes is a condition where your body struggles to use insulin effectively. Insulin is like a key. It's the hormone your body makes to unlock the doors of your cells, so glucose, your blood sugar, can enter and be used for energy. In type 2 diabetes, those locks get rusty, and the key doesn't fit as smoothly. That means sugar stays floating around in your blood instead of nourishing your cells, and over time, that high blood sugar can cause real damage to your heart, kidneys, eyes, nerves, and more. Now let's talk about prediabetes, because this is where the story often begins. Prediabetes means your blood sugar is higher than normal, but not high enough yet to be called diabetes. It's like your body is waving a yellow flag, saying, hey, something isn't quite right. And here's the hopeful part. Prediabetes can often be reversed with changes to your daily habits. In fact, many people never progress to type 2 diabetes if they catch prediabetes early and make adjustments. Think about this. The CDC estimates that more than 1 in 3 adults in the United States has prediabetes, and the majority don't even know it. That means millions of people are walking around every day, feeling fairly normal, unaware that their blood sugar is creeping higher and higher. So why don't people know? Well, prediabetes and even early type 2 diabetes often come with very subtle symptoms, or sometimes no symptoms at all. But if you look closely, your body may be giving you hints. You might notice feeling more tired than usual, being unusually thirsty, urinating more frequently, or having cuts and scrapes that seem slow to heal. Some people notice blurry vision, or even tingling in their hands and feet. These signs can be easy to dismiss as just getting older or I didn't sleep well last night, but when they add up, they may point to something deeper. Now here's where things get a little personal. Picture your daily routine. Maybe you wake up, grab a coffee with cream and sugar, rush through breakfast or skip it altogether, spend the day sitting at a desk or driving, and then grab takeout for dinner because you're exhausted. Sprinkle in some stress, maybe poor sleep, and there you have it, the perfect storm for insulin resistance. That doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you human, living in a fast-paced, modern world where convenience often wins over health. But here's the good news. Small changes, done consistently, can make a very big difference. One of the most powerful tools you have is your plate. The food you eat is directly connected to how your body manages blood sugar. Think of it this way. Foods high in refined carbs and added sugars are like pouring gasoline on a fire. They cause your blood sugar to spike quickly, which forces your pancreas to pump out more insulin, and over time, your cells stop listening. On the other hand, foods rich in fiber, protein, and healthy fats are like giving your body slow, steady fuel. They help keep your blood sugar more balanced. So if you want to start somewhere simple, begin by adding more vegetables, beans, whole grains, nuts, and lean proteins to your meals. You don't have to overhaul everything overnight. Just start with 1 meal a day. Swap white bread for whole grain. Replace soda with sparkling water. Add a handful of leafy greens to your dinner plate. Small steps add up. Another powerful step is movement. Notice I didn't say exercise in the traditional sense, like running 5 miles or hitting the gym for an hour. For many people, that feels overwhelming. But movement in any form helps your body use insulin more effectively. Walking after meals, gardening, dancing in your living room, climbing the stairs instead of taking the elevator, all of these things improve your insulin sensitivity. Studies even show that a 10-minute walk after a meal can lower blood sugar significantly. Imagine what that means if you do it regularly. It's like giving your body a little tune-up several times a day. And let's not forget about weight. Carrying excess weight, especially around the belly, is one of the strongest risk factors for type 2 diabetes. But here's something encouraging. You don't have to lose 50 pounds to see results. Even a modest weight loss of 5 to 10% of your body weight can dramatically lower your risk. So if you weigh 200 pounds, losing just 10 to 20 pounds can help your body manage blood sugar much more efficiently. That's achievable, and it's worth it. Sleep is another piece of the puzzle that people often overlook. When you're short on sleep, your body becomes more resistant to insulin. Think about the last time you pulled an all-nighter or stayed up too late. You probably felt hungrier the next day, craving carbs and sweets. That's your hormones reacting to poor sleep. So creating a sleep routine, going to bed at the same time, keeping your room dark and cool, limiting screens before bed, can have a direct effect on your blood sugar balance. Stress management is equally important. Chronic stress raises levels of cortisol, the stress hormone, which in turn pushes your blood sugar higher. Our ancestors needed that surge of sugar in their blood to run from danger. But today, most of our stress comes from jobs, bills, and daily life, not something we can run away from. Finding healthy outlets for stress, like deep breathing, yoga, meditation, or even just talking with a friend, helps keep those cortisol levels under control. Now you might be wondering, what about medications? If you've been diagnosed with type 2 diabetes or even prediabetes, your doctor may talk to you about medications like metformin. These can be very effective tools, and there's no shame in needing them. Remember, diabetes is not a moral failure. It's a medical condition influenced by genetics, lifestyle, and environment. For some people, lifestyle changes alone are enough. For others, a combination of lifestyle and medication works best. The important thing is to stay in communication with your healthcare provider and follow their guidance. Another thing that often comes up in conversations about diabetes is whether it can be reversed. The truth is, for many people with prediabetes, and even some with type 2 diabetes, blood sugar can be brought back into a healthy range with significant lifestyle changes. Some call it remission rather than reversal, BCS, as the tendency toward insulin resistance may still be there. But imagine how empowering it feels to know you have that kind of influence over your own health. Countless studies show that with better nutrition, more movement, stress reduction, and weight management, blood sugar can improve dramatically. Let's circle back to what all of this means for you. If you're watching this and thinking, this sounds like my life, please don't feel discouraged. Instead, see it as an invitation to take charge of your health. Start small. Choose one meal today to make more balanced. Set a reminder to take a short walk after dinner. Go to bed 15 minutes earlier tonight. Call a friend and share your goals. These are not massive, impossible changes. They are small seeds you plant daily, and over time, they grow into a healthier, stronger you. And if you already have diabetes, remember this: you are not alone. Millions of people are walking this path with you. Support is out there, in communities, in online groups, in clinics, and even right here on this channel. Living with diabetes doesn't mean your life is over. It means you have a reason to pay closer attention, to nurture yourself, and to embrace habits that benefit every part of your body. So as we wrap up, I want to leave you with a simple image. Imagine your health as a river. Every choice you make, what you eat, how you move, how you sleep, how you manage stress, drops a stone into that river. Each stone creates ripples. Over time, those ripples shape the flow. You have more influence over that flow than you may realize, and while none of us can control everything, we can each choose to create ripples of health, one decision at a time. Thank you for spending this time with me today. If this conversation about type 2 diabetes and prediabetes has given you new insight or encouragement, please consider liking this video, subscribing to Daily Wellness for every age group, and sharing it with someone you care about. Your support helps us keep bringing you health and wellness content that can make a difference in everyday lives. Until next time, take gentle care of yourself and keep making those small, powerful choices for your well-being.